Hi. So before I start telling you about balance sheet, profit loss statement, cash flow, ratio analysis, which are the part of quantitative fundamental analysis, what I want to do is I want to burst some myth of fundamental analysis, especially on quantitative side, where you have been taught that you have to look at certain numbers, and compounding that number is important, and that's how probably the valuation happens. Well, yes, that's how the valuation happens. That's how it has been always projected, but and we will be also using it in the same way. But then I have always found the intrinsic valuation is quite difficult, and you know, intrinsic valuation is something which we cannot be sure at any point of time that my intrinsic valuation or the way I have done the valuation of one company is a correct valuation and yours is a wrong valuation. Two very good superfine analysts or people who do valuation can come up with different numbers in intrinsic valuation, and both of them can defend themselves. So this in this course, what I have focused more on is the relative valuation, because only when you compare two businesses you will be able to know which business is better. But before telling you even the quantitative thing, I have spent a lot of time during the webinars and also in most of the videos where I told you that stock market is all about businesses, and you need to know businesses, because unless and until you understand the business very well, you won't be able to do the valuation also. So even if you know how to read balance sheet, cash flow statements, and profit and loss statements, and you know how to read the quarterly results as well, unless and until you don't understand businesses, you won't be able to do a correct valuation, and more importantly, you will be not able to tell which apple is better than the other apple, which is like the relative valuation. So again, the quantitative analysis, I will start on the node of one business case scenario only, and then we will go deeper into other part of it, which is like the financial statement analysis. But in this introductory video of fundamental analysis, I'm gonna just explain you three different base business cases, and you have to look into that business case on this Excel sheet which I have prepared, right? And this business is one business which most of us can do. We all understand this business probably, and that's why I have included this business case in the example part. So coming to the business case, I have created three business case of three different person who are into the same business. Okay. So in business case one, this one person, so all of them are going to do the same business. And this business is opening a snack shops in any of the nearby locality, right? So you live into one locality and there will be a small marketplace where you get a shop worth rental of 15 to 25,000 rupees, a small shop. And I have taken that as an average 20,000 rupees as a rental. So there is one guy who is like very good at probably making Indian snacks, all kind of North Indian, South Indian, and from he know the cuisines, which is the snacks of all over the India. He has spent a lot of time in South India, North India, central part of India, everywhere, Northeast, and then he learned or he specialized in only one thing, which is like he makes really good breakfast, or let's say any kind of snacks. So what he does that he opened that shop, this one guy, and he bought utensils and all the stuff which can set up the shop in 50,000 rupees. Raw material of 10,000 rupees. He have to give deposit of the shop as 20,000 rupees, and then he kept 20,000 rupees as cash in hand. I mean, not a very great example to take, but I mean, I'm sure like a snack shop will take lot many other things to do, but then the typical businesses, whatever could have been done is like something like this, that he would have bought the shop and all, right? So he got 1 lakh rupees. He had this 1 lakh rupee working somewhere else, and he saved this money for himself, and he's starting his own business with this 1 lakh rupees. Okay, so he, on a very first day, you know, he got the raw material, he made all different kind of cuisines, all different kind of snacks, you know, and he opened somewhere in, let's say, one marketplace in Chennai, you know. And the very first day, since his snacks were very good, he used all the raw material of 10,000 rupees and sold it on 15,000 rupees. He is also a good guy, honest guy. He think that, it is more important that he is able to sell everything rather than, making something very expensive and selling. And that is his USP probably, because raw material worth 10,000 rupees in a snacks market selling in 15,000 rupees is more or less the same way I'm selling this course to you, people who are taking this course, who believe in low margin but believe in serving larger section of the society, right? So let's say, since his produce was very good, he has that expertise, he made a profit of 5,000 rupees on raw material for the very first day. But then he knew that, this is not the 5,000 which is the final profit, because now that he's not working somewhere else, he's working in his own shop, he has to take some money home. So he has to have his salary. Then he has to hire one guy also. So let's say he decided one salary for himself, which is 30,000 rupees. Then he hired another guy whose salary is 20,000 rupees. He's a helper guy. And then there's one guy who used to serve, and then one guy who used to clean. So altogether the salary was 70,000 rupees. At the end of the month, he has to pay the rental, which is 20,000 rupees. Then tax and other miscellaneous like electricity bill, government taxes and all those stuff, sales on tax and all those things he has to pay. Let's say I have summarized that to 40,000 rupees. I wanted to keep the example simple, right? So his monthly sale is going to be 4,50,000 rupees, because he's having a sale of 15,000 every day. And let's say he made this 5,000 rupees per day profit and bifurcated it into giving salary, raw material and everything, and he ended up making a saving of 25,000 rupees. Let's say I have made it 40,000, I can make it 35,000, and 25,000 rupees is the gross profit or the monthly profit he can take home after paying everything. Let's say in financial statement you will not find the things put across in the very similar manner, but then I have put it because maybe when you are planning your business, you will put things like this only. It's your CA who will tell you that, or who will make the balance sheet or P&L for you, which will be a different format altogether, which we will cover on later stage, right? So 25,000 rupees monthly profit he is making. He's taking money home also for his expenses. He give it to his wife so that his house is running. And then he thinks of, okay, I'll save this 25,000 rupees for the expansion of my business, right? Well, he keeps on saving every month. In 5 years, he was able to save, since 5 years is 60 months. So I have just multiplied 25 into 25,000 into 60, which is like 15 lakh rupee. You can see that in his business, he has made 15 times return, right? So started this business with 1 lakh rupee, now 15 times return. Do you think that it is a good return? Well, if he is having such a good business, for some people, it might not be a great return. Some people, it could be a very good return. You as an investor, if you have to do nothing, just have to analyze and put your money into the company, that 15 times return is very, very good return. From a businessman perspective, this could not be a very great return, that after slogging for 5 great years, good years, all he is saved out with 15 lakh rupees. So it is all there with a different perspective. Well, there could be a very high class investment banker who will tell him that, boss, 25,000 rupees per month on an investment of 1 lakh rupee, you are getting compounded at 25% per month. You know where I can take your business to? If we are compounding at 25%, if you are not waiting for 5 years and you are compounding from the very first month, well, he can suggest him a business model which is compounding at very first month. And then what could be the return? So I have told you how to use the future value, right? So future value at 1 lakh investment on 25% will something like 652 crore. So for a high class investment banker who always pitch how exactly the businesses can be projected and the power of compounding work, so if he takes the business case where you are investing 1 lakh rupee, and since every month you are making a return of 25%, he can say that this business can compound every month since you are growing at 25% rate, and next 5 years this business can become 652 crore, and that's how probably he will bring the IPO and pick up a very handsome stake sell. Well, that's on a lighter note, but point here is, yes, power of compounding work in the business, but we have to pause here and think, can a sweet shop or a snack shop, because you understand, you and me both understand this business, it is not a complicated pharma business, it is not a complicated banking business, it's a very plain brick and mortar business where you have to open the shop. Well, it cannot grow at 25% because of certain reasons. One, the very second month you just have 1,25,000 rupees. Where is the capital to open the second shop? Because again the second shop will cost you 1 lakh rupee. Okay, now you are the only guy who is making these sweets and you are good at it. So you can make only worth 15,000 rupees. Or you can make only worth so much that you can cater one locality of people only. Right? We all understand that if a footfall of 1,000 people are coming into that Chennai marketplace, then suddenly just because his sweets are there, this will not happen that people from Bombay are flying to Chennai and buying the stuff from him, right? This will not happen. So he has a limitation there, and we understand this business. So, I mean, future value is something which you can calculate. I have explained you in the, in the mathematics class in module 2, and you can also use this, compound interest calculator, where you can give 1 lakh rupee and interest rate as 25%, period is 60, you can make it all monthly, right? And if you calculate it, even this will show you a similar number, 652 crore, right? So in business module 2, you can see that if a business is taken into compounded rate on the very first month, this business can become a 652 crore business. Well, this investment banker can also propose him one more thing, that now that you are only multiplying 1 lakh rupee and it is becoming 652 crore, think about this. I'll get you 50 lakh rupees loan and I can raise 5 crore from market showing this business plan in the IPO. And you start this business not with 1 lakh rupee but 5 crore rupee. And apply the same power of compounding, he'll probably be able to show this also a 6 lakh crore company, right? And this has happened in past. On paper, this kind of valuation has been shown to retail investors, and retail investors had no other choice but to believe it, because they have been just marketed this plan with, people have just marketed this plan. So this could be the business case 2 only, okay? Well, I have calculated a business case 3 also, right? In all these things, you have numbers only, and these all numbers can look very realistic. The 2 examples which I have shown you, first one is very conservative, second one is very aggressive, very, very aggressive. Third one is another business model which I have taken, okay? So this person saved 25,000 rupees first month, second month another 25, now it is 1,50,000 rupees. I mean, 1 lakh is his initial cost, and I'm considering this is his valuation, book value of the company right now. 1 lakh is something which he has invested. I have not taken any depreciation into the account. I thought that, okay, if he closed that initial shop, he'll still get back his 1 lakh rupee. That's how I have considered. However, in business, real business, obviously the other things will come like depreciation, taxation and other stuff, which we will cover. But to simplify the example, we have kept it. So he worked for 4 months and saved how much money? He saved 1 lakh extra rupee, right? Now when he saved 4th month extra rupee, now he is having a total 2 lakh rupee, and he got 2 shop basically. So with another 1 lakh rupee, and after 4 months, what he did that he developed that guy, his deputy, to take care of this shop, and he moved to the other shop, and he opened another shop in fifth month. This looked realistic. Okay, after 4 or 5 months successful thing, in from one locality to Chennai, he can move to another locality and open another shop. I would have done probably the same thing, and you would have also probably done the same thing if your business is really rocking, because you know that you have a limited footfall, and anyway in one market your sales cannot expand. It's not a balloon that, even a balloon cannot be expanded in an infinite way. So what you have to do, that you have to move to the different locality to find new customer, and what he did, right? It is possible that within a year he can open 10 shops in Chennai, 10 different locations, and then he can move to different cities altogether. Okay, so on fifth month, now his monthly profit is 50,000 rupees because he's running two shops. Well, what you can see that obviously on fourth month he was having 2 lakh, 1 lakh, and in 4 months it had become 2 lakh. However, he could have just compounded every month and he would have shown that it is 2,44,000. But again, this compounding is not going to happen, right? Because of the business challenges, right? So here you can see that on fifth month, he made 2,50,000 rupees. 50,000 get added because now he has two shops. Out of two shops, he will profit 50,000 every month. 6 month, it will become 3 lakh, right? So this time it will take only 2 months for him to open his third shop, which he can again do, right? Because he got an experience of expansion, he has been doing it, he's finding his pace. So out of 3 lakh rupee, he got this on 7th month, 3 lakh rupees. He just thought, okay, let me plan it. He left it like that, opened 3 shops and started from there. And 8 and 9 month, he made, let's say, another, he just took 1 month of break, and he probably trained 2 more people because his expansion is there. He would need good people who will make sweets, or he probably, took some time finding out more locality. So he gave that 1 month break, and then third month he opened that shop. 7th month he opened third shop, and now his profit is 75,000 rupees, right? So out of this 75,000 rupees, on 9th month it will become 1,50,000 profit. His total net worth is becoming, he got 3 shops, all of them are 1 lakh each, 1,50,000 profit in last 2 months, 4,50,000 rupees. Well, he had 1.5 lakh rupees extra. In 10th month, he can open another shop. So from here, you can see that there is a cycle where every month he can open one shop. And he got this expertise now, okay, that he can open one shop per month. And then, after all these months, what he saw that he was able to open around 7 shops. Well, in his business cycle, he could say that I have made more than 700% return, because he was also saving some extra money. But then one thing is, he realized that it's not that easy to identify location, train people, and expand so easily. So what he can do, that he can now, since he's also saving money, every month he's opening one shop, and he saved some money also, through which he will make a small factory where all these snacks will be prepared, and he'll deliver it from that central warehousing. Well, what I'm trying to tell you, that numbers are important, and you need to understand these numbers when you are doing a quantitative fundamental analysis. But then you also need to understand the business model. What you also need to understand, that when it will grow at a simple interest, and in which cycle it will go on a compound interest. Up to what market size the compound interest can multiply, can work for the benefit of this company, in the favor of this company. And that's why you have to always see quarterly results of these companies, because these companies also cannot compound on a hourly basis or monthly basis or even quarterly basis. So they also plan that, okay, for next 1 year, this is where we want to go, because this is something which is realistic. This is something we can achieve together as a company with the limited people, right? And limited resources. So all these 4 different statements, quarterly results, P&L statements, balance sheet, and cash flow, are made just to give a very clear picture for them itself, that how exactly they are growing. And for you, when you go and check the financial statements of these companies, you can also correlate that which financial statement you have to consider in which sector, which kind of businesses, you know. But most of the time when you are going to do quantitative fundamental analysis, either you check the P&L statement which is there on the annual basis, or the quarterly results which companies generally, which not generally, all the companies publish it on every end of quarter, right? What I was trying to tell you is trying to show you that businesses have limitations and power of compounding work in the favor of business, but then you need to know where to place the brake when you are doing the analysis. And for that you would need to know the different kind of or the nature of businesses. Well, in this video, this is all I wanted to explain you with numbers, that realistic growth is something which is very important. Point number one. Point number two, no doubt power of compounding work in the favor of the companies. Here in this example, which looks quite realistic from the real life, you know, he could have grown at 700%, but then he said, no, I will open just 2 shops every month. So next year he will open 24 more shops. And then even with 24 shops, his growth rate is actually very good. And maybe this growth rate he will try to keep linear for another 3 years before he utilizing his own capital, which he has, because if he's just opening 2 shops every month, he's going to save some money as well every month, which he can put to open a different business line altogether, for which you have to hear the management commentary now, because this person who started with 1 shop is into the management and he'll tell you that what are his plans for next 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, or next 20 years, right? So this was from a business perspective. In the same quantitative fundamental analysis, since in later stage we are going to discuss in relative format that which company is better, and we are going to work a lot on relative valuation. So this one is from the business perspective. The next video in the same segment will be from the perspective of you as an investor have such choices where few businesses are growing at certain rates and few businesses are demanding certain premium, but then you have to compare that, you know, one company which is growing at probably 10%, another company growing at 20%, then you have an option of growing at 6% as FD. You have these 3-4 options, and how will you select one of the option is something again we will learn from a very basic example like this in the next video. And then only we will move further in the later videos of fundamental analysis, which is on balance sheet, profit loss statement, cash flow, and ratio analysis. So let's go to the next class, which is the valuation from, which will be the base of relative valuation, I can say, you know. So let's go there. Thanks for watching this.